Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Andrea and this is Beyond the Pink Door. And today I am making knickers. And in particular I am making the Nielsen Acacia knickers. Now this is my favourite knickers pattern and I like it because number one, it's a free pattern. You can get the pattern totally 100% for free if you sign up to the Nielsen newsletter. It's as simple as that. So you basically print off your pattern. It comes in a PDF form. I think it's 8 sheets, so there's very little sticking together. It comes in a great range of sizes. So it comes in size 0 to size 20, and that is a waist of 24 and a hip of 34 to a waist of 38 and a hip of 48. So I printed off my pattern and I decided on my size according to my body measurements. It comes in 3 pattern pieces. So it's got the back, the front, and it's got a gusset pattern. And I have found through making quite a few knickers that it's actually not a very fabric hungry pattern at all. It's really well designed so that it takes very little fabric. It's got lovely bum coverage. It's slightly dipped at the front and I really like it. I've made knickers from all types of jerseys. We are loving knickers in bamboo jersey because the bamboo is quite fine and quite stretchy, so it sort of feels more like the ready-to-wear knickers. I basically went through my scrap bin and I made knickers from any type of stretchy jersey that I had. So today I'm actually making some from some cotton jersey. I've also trialed and errored a lot of elastics as well, and we're now stocking a lovely range of elastics in the shop that we personally love. So I have a bundle here of some to show you. We have a really lovely picot elastic. Now it's focused. So this is what I'm using for the legs. You can also use it for the waist. So you can use that as an all-over elastic. We are finding that we like a wider elastic at the waist, so they are low-ish knickers, but not terribly low. But I really love having a stretch lace at the waist. I find that it digs in less, and I just find it more comfortable. And we have tried quite a few, and these are what we like. So this is one that we have, and this one is a 30mm wide elastic. And then we also have one which is 50. So if you want the knickers to be a little bit higher, you can go for that one. And then a more recent one is we have this 20mm wavy elastic, and you can use that on the legs and the waistband. So today I am going to make one pair of knickers with the picot elastic around the legs and the wider elastic on the waist, and I'm going to make another pair using this wavy elastic for legs and waist. And I'm going to show you how I put them together. I started making the knickers using the Nielsen method, which is absolutely perfect, but I always end up figuring out my own way that I like making. So I'm going to make them today in the way that I have been making the last few, and I'm preferring this method a lot better. So I'm going to move the camera now to show you how I'm going to cut them out. Now one of the things I really like about these pattern pieces is that they are full piece. They're not a half piece that you place on a fold. So for that, I'm finding that it's very easy to place them all out on scrap pieces of fabrics. So I have a double folded piece here, so I'm going to cut out 2 pairs of knickers. This is the smallest size. I'm making them for Keris, and as you can see, I can fit all the pattern pieces in very easily. I found on plain fabrics as well that you can obviously put the gusset part here and you can turn it upside down, or you could put the front piece, turn it in. So plain fabrics obviously you'll get more out of. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the pieces. Now, so I have my pieces cut out. I generally cut out with the rotary cutter because I find it so much easier. But just for the purpose of the video, I took out the scissors because basically I have to get so close to the fabric to see it when I'm doing using the rotary cutter. But yeah, I would definitely suggest a rotary cutter, it's so much easier. So here's my back, my front, and my gusset, and here's a second gusset piece for the inside, which I like to cut out in white. So I start off with the fabric gusset, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll up almost as close to the seam here, and I'm going to pin one seam to the other, right sides together, like that. And I'm going to do the same with the front, just roll it up, pin them here together. If you hear a buzzing, it's because I have a very annoying fly in the room. So there we have it. And then we get our gusset piece in white, and we're going to lay that down on top again. So we're basically sandwiching the front and back in between the two gussets. And then pin here. And then what I'm going to do is sew right across here and here using a zigzag stitch. So I've set my zigzag to 2 wide and a 2 long. I'm going to back stitch and sew across. The seam allowance is 1/4 inch, so I'm going to do that and then come back. So this is how it looks. There you can see the size of zigzag I've used, and I've actually trimmed it off as well. So there's very little seam there. And then if we just turn out the 2 crotch pieces, then we have a really lovely, fully enclosed crotch piece. And then we're on to the next stage. Included in the Megan Nielsen instructions are a full list of the lengths of elastic that you need to cut for your waist and your leg. Now, when we did our first trial, there is only maybe an inch, possibly, of difference between the length of the leg elastic and the length of the leg opening. But it just tightened it in that ever so slightness that we don't like. So what I've basically done is I've cut the elastic to the exact length of the opening. And I have pinned it so that the edge of the elastic is in line with the edge of the fabric. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zigzag it in place now around, and that will be the first run of sewing for the leg elastic. So hopefully you can see there that I've done my zigzag quite close to the little picot edge, so that basically when you flip it up, it's just the little picot edge that you see, and the elastic is on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is another row of stitching. I'm going to have this flip to the inside, and on the outside here I'm going to do another row of zigzag to hold that back. Now that's how it looks on the outside, and that's it on the inside. So here's how we're looking. We have our elastic around the two leg openings, and I'm going to put the front on the back here, right sides together, at just one of the seams, and I'm going to zigzag this now and also overlock it. So here we have the seam. On the inside I have just zigzagged it, overlocked it, and then on the front I just top stitched in a zigzag, forcing the fabric towards the back, and that just makes it's more comfy to wear because there's less lumps around here where the lace joins. And the next part we have to do is the waistband. So we've got one side open, and I have got my 50mm lace here. I've just put a pin where the halfway mark is, so I folded it in two and I found the centre. I'm going to pin that onto the waistband at the seam, so I'm going down about 1/2 centimetre. So you can see there's the edge of the fabric, and I've put the pin there. There's very little difference between the length of the elastic and the actual length of the waistband. I wouldn't think there's 1 centimetre on each side. So that's one end. And then here's a pin in the centre. So you can put as many or as few pins as you like. And then we're going to zigzag that in place. So from the outside here, I can see the edge of my fabric in here. So my plan is to do my zigzag just enclosing that elastic on top of the seam. Now, so hopefully there you can see that I've just done my zigzag stitch there right over the fabric through the elastic, and on the inside that's how it looks. So it's very simple to join it on. If you like, depending on your elastic and the size of the scallop, you could go back and do another row of zigzagging just over the edge of the elastic there. That might actually stop it kind of curling up, but through my experience that has been absolutely fine. And then of course the last thing we have is just one more seam. So we're basically going to sew up our last side seam, from the waistband through the fabric down through the other elastic. I'm going to overlock that as well, and I'm also going to top stitch it in the same way that I did the other side. So I've started these in the very same way as the other pair, so I have the fully enclosed gusset here. I have my piece of elastic lace, and what I've noticed about this is it has an extra kind of lacy side here, and this one is quite even, so it has the little wave on it, but this side has like an extra little spiky bit. So I'm going to use this as my sewing on part. So I'm going to just place it on top of the leg opening, and I'm going to pin it in place so that it covers the fabric but I'm not going like fully on top. I have the fabric probably halfway into the lace. Yeah, it's about halfway. And now I'm going to zigzag using my normal zigzag stitch like I've done with the rest of it, and I'm going to actually zigzag along following the shape of the elastic. So on the inside, I'm just going to trim the seam here around where the layers are, just being careful not to trim the lace. And then I'm going to do another row of stitching on the inside, just along over the edge of the fabric. So I've got the other leg done already, and now I'm going to join the side seams as before. Just get a trim. And I have them overlocked, and then from the outside And now, so we're back at the same stage again to put this on as the waistband, and I'm going to do that in the very same way as I did this one here. And I'm going to do the 2 pass of stitching as well. So there's a very slight right and wrong side. So I'm going to crack on and do that, and then I'll show you the 2 finished articles when I'm finished. So there we go, 2 knickers. I hope that you've learned something in the different techniques that I've used. I'm really enjoying this method. They come together really nicely. I particularly love the fact that the gusset is fully enclosed. They're so comfy to wear. The top stitching at the side seams makes them almost feel seamless. That's the pair with the wide elastic at the top and the picot elastic on the legs. It's really soft elastic, so it certainly isn't scratchy at all. And then here's the other pair with the scalloped elastic, and I think they're really, really cute. So I have of course noticed that the cats are upside down at the front gusset and the right side up at the back. That didn't even occur to me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it was of some help. And if you liked the video, give it the thumbs up. Thank you very much. And if you don't subscribe to my channel, I'd love if you thought about doing that. So yeah, I'm going to crack on now and actually make some more because I'm in the little mode to do it. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.